Justin Kinner Show, live here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM. Tweet the show at 1410 Kinner or give us a call at 457-9464. We now send you to the Wing Studios in Kettering. Here's your host, Justin Kinner.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Hope everyone's having a great day. We're excited to be hanging out with you here on this Tuesday afternoon. We got a jam-packed 3-hour show coming your way. Joining us coming up here around the corner, Ian Fitzsimmons, ESPN Radio, going to join us. We'll again start beginning to look ahead to this Sunday and talk a little Super Bowl again. We're going to be focusing on that a little bit more today than we have over the last week or so. So keep that in mind. We'll also have ESPN Radio's Jason Fitz joining us at 4:30. So we have all of that coming your way. So about 15 minutes from now, Ian Fitzsimmons from ESPN Radio, and then Jason Fitz from Spain and Fitz will call in at 4:30. So we have a lot coming your way. But I wanted to open with this because all day, you just start listening to different sports talk shows. You watch the different sports shows out there. And, of course, it's all about Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes. But then when you match what you are seeing and reading and viewing with what you see on social media, the venom that is spewed towards Tom Brady always just seems to fascinate me, Kev. I'm always amazed at the venom that is spewed towards Tom Brady and the dislike for Tom Brady. And I guess the question that I have is why? What is it about Tom Brady that makes him so unlikable? Because he's never a part of, his teams have been a part of a scandal, but not so much Tom Brady. And if you call in and waste time with flattened footballs, if you really think you really think that Tom Brady's greatness stems from flattened footballs, I really look, I'm not a football aficionado by any means, but I don't think dynasties start with flattened footballs. Let's just put it that way. But the dislike for Tom Brady stemmed well before that. That just added to the fuel. That was fuel to the fire that is the hatred for Tom Brady. I remember, when I first started doing the show years and years ago, or at least working on this at the station years ago before, doing the show every day, I remember it was the Falcons and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And remember doing a topic similar to this, saying, what is it about Tom Brady that you hate? Why do you hate Tom Brady? There's nothing about Tom Brady that's unlikable outside of the fact that you just don't like him because he's a winner. What is it about winners that we hate in sports? Maybe not so much you and I, me, but no. What is it about winners in sports that we just hate? Because it's funny, the guys that you think that if Tom Brady would be accused of the stuff that Tiger Woods or Big Ben or some of these quarterbacks are great, not quarterbacks, but great athletes. Sometimes this is stemming outside of football a little bit. It's amazing. Like Tiger Woods can do no wrong in the eyes of his fans, right? Tiger Woods is a legend. He's great. Everyone loves Tiger Woods, no matter what. But there's a lot that you could dislike Tiger Woods for. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson has a huge following. There's a lot you could dislike Mike Tyson for, but he's popular everywhere he goes. It's amazing to me. LeBron James, we can't stand him. What's the biggest knock you have on LeBron? Oh, he left Cleveland. But people hate LeBron James. People hate Tom Brady. And I guess the question I have as we head into the Super Bowl this Sunday, to me, I'm one of those where I just appreciate greatness. I feel like we as fans sometimes don't appreciate what we're watching right in front of us. Nick Saban. People hate Nick Saban, right? Yep. We're getting to the point now where Dabo Swinney and Clemson went from this cute little underdog story to now people legitimately hate Clemson. Anything that comes out of Dabo's mouth it's fuel to the fire of the hatred that has stemmed his way. And the only thing that everyone has in common, and it's not a personality trait, it's just an accomplishment trait. They're all winners. Dabo winning 2 national titles in 3 years. He has more, it's Alabama with 3, Clemson with 2, Ohio State with 1, LSU 1. They're just winners. Like, we hate the winners. Like, Ohio State is disliked outside of our fan base for obvious reasons. Mm-hmm. The fans are obnoxious. The fans view themselves as the same as the teams who have won multiple championships over the last decade. So that kind of puts them in that category. But I am curious your thoughts on Tom Brady. What is it about him that makes him so unlikable? Because it amazes me. We should be talking about the greatness of Tom Brady, but you can't say his name. I can't tweet his name. I can't look at a post about him on social media without somebody just destroying him. And he has no scandals. Flat footballs is not a scandal, folks. It's just not. People tried so hard with that. If you think Tom Brady's greatness comes from flat footballs, come on. Let's be real. What is it, Kev? Because he was disliked before the flat football gate.
It's as simple as this, man. We build you up to break you down. It's as simple as people rooted for them when they beat the Rams to get their first Super Bowl because we were sick of the Rams and the fastest show on turf. We need an enemy. Everybody needs a team to dislike or a person to dislike. And he is that for the NFL. He's the guy, unless you're a New England Patriots fan or a Tom Brady fan or a Michigan fan, you can't stand him because you know why? He beats all of your teams outside of the Giants. He's twice. He's beat my team plenty of times. So I don't like him for that reason alone. And then we need somebody to dislike in the NFL, and he fits the bill because he's won the most. Before, just like you talked about with Dabo before, oh gosh, golly, good luck, man. We're just happy to be here. We're winners. We're trying to climb our way to the top. All those sayings, you're rooting for them. Everybody's rooting for them when they play Alabama with Deshaun Watson. Nobody was rooting for them outside of their fan base when they were playing Ohio State this past time. Nobody likes Dabo now because you won so much. Now people feel like, all right, man, it's somebody else's turn to win. That's how sports are built. That's how they're operated. I mean, we can look like at LeBron. Everybody recognizes LeBron as greatness, but people don't like him because he wins a lot. He wins a ton. Like myself, I never rooted for Kobe Bryant. Not because he wasn't great. It's because he's a Laker and he's always winning. So I don't like him. That's just how it goes. That's how sports goes. There's very few people out there that just truly sit back and appreciate greatness at every level and just appreciate the game and really don't have a quote unquote rooting interest for a team or a player over another player who would just sit back and enjoy the sport, whatever they're watching. There's very few people out there that can do that.
Yeah, I give it if the Kansas City Chiefs win this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is going to be slow. Like, it's not like as he's hoisting up the trophy, everyone's going to be like, God, I hate him. But it's going to slowly turn into that over time. Like this always happens. The greater they are, the more dislike it. But I guess I'm curious because, I was a young kid growing up during Michael Jordan's, run in the 90s with the Bulls. Social media wasn't around then. So I'm like, did Michael Jordan have that? Because I feel like he did have it. Yes. For me, if I said I feel like he does it, but that's why I'm asking. Where would people direct their anger, I guess, with no social media, the old man Kev?
No, just around the neighborhood. If we're in the neighborhood, so just for instance, I'll take you back to Cleveland. We're in Cleveland. I grew up in Cleveland and everything like that.
Elo. Yeah, I see why now.
No, I know what you're saying. That for sure, too. But in my neighborhood where I grew up, we had Lakers fans. We had Detroit Pistons fans. And everybody rooted for the Cavs, but, we kind of knew the Cavs weren't going to be winning like that. So, you gravitated towards MJ. And when Jordan and the Bulls played the Lakers, you thought it was going to be a civil war in Cleveland, Ohio, because it's Magic Johnson. That's the team that everybody gravitated towards back in those days. It was Magic Johnson and the upstart Bulls. That was the team that the younger kids, all the teenagers did. But all the, 25 and 30-year-olds who grew up with Magic Johnson were rooting for Magic Johnson. But then the young buck comes along and they couldn't stand him. But all the young kids like him. And that's the same way that when LeBron came along, you have people of my era who hang the Michael Jordan banner, but you have the younger generation waving the LeBron James banner. And then there's going to be a person after LeBron that comes up that kids are in high school, meaning elementary school, that grow up watching and says, is it Trey Young, whomever that person is going to be, they're going to wave that flag. So people express themselves just like everywhere else, at the barbershop, around the neighborhood, at the lunch table, about who's better, who's not. One of my brother's best friends hates Michael Jordan with a passion, despises him, just talks about, the gambling, all the rumors about his father and stuff like that. Whenever he finds a little article, he sends it to me.
There's no way to treat the second best player of all time.
So like people, I know it seems like no one dislikes Michael Jordan of a certain age, but trust me, there's tons of people out there who can't stand Michael Jordan.
Yeah. And again, if you're just tuning in, I'm Justin Kinner. He's Kev Nash, opening up with, again, just I've noticed the media drools over Tom Brady. And to be fair, the media doesn't attack Tom Brady too often. I mean, if there's controversy, like the flag football thing, media jumped on that like you wouldn't believe. I mean, it was months and months of that. But overall, there's nothing dislikable about Tom Brady. He smiles in every press conference. He was asked about Bill Belichick I believe in the media conference today or yesterday, and everyone wants there to be drama between him and Bill Belichick. And he went on and said if it was not for Bill Belichick, he would not be the player that he is today. He would not be who he is with the Bucs today. And that's something we're going to get into coming up here in a little bit. But like, he had a chance to just say, yeah, Bill Belichick meant a lot. But he went on for about a good 2-3 minutes about how important Bill Belichick was in his life. He never once referenced that they're buddy or that they speak daily, or in fact, they haven't even spoken at all. A member of the media did ask him, has Bill Belichick reached out to you at all during this? And he did say no. But again, that's a reason right there that he could spew venom to them, and he doesn't. After the game, you see the camera pan over to him, and he runs right to the sideline, and he screams to have his kid come down so he could hug his kid after. It's all cute little, we see that in sports all the time, but it's Tom Brady, and fans just can't stand him. They can't stand him. But it's not just a Tom Brady issue. It's what we talked about. For whatever reason, we hate greatness. That's why I tune into sports, by the way, is for greatness. But yet, that's why those are the guys we hate the most, and I'll just never understand it. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a great story right now in the NBA. 2 MVPs, but eventually it's going to get to the point where you turn on him, right? That's what happens, especially if he starts winning championships, right? Championships are going to be key. That's going to be important. But Steph Curry was very likable, not likable now. I kind of blame Kevin Durant for that, coming over there, because Kevin Durant going to the Warriors made them very unlikable. They were the new heel in the NBA. Right. The other thing, too, is I remember the Oklahoma City Thunder, like probably the 3 most disliked people in the NBA today are the 3 that were the 3 most lovable guys in the NBA when the Oklahoma City Thunder were kind of coming up. When you had Russell Westbrook, when you had Kevin Durant, when you had James Harden. Now, all 3 of those have an MVP under their belt. All right. Kevin Durant has multiple NBA championships. All right. Harden has an MVP. Westbrook has an MVP. Like, these 3 have all reached the top of the NBA landscape. And everyone hates them. But when they were together with the OKC Thunder, they were coming up together. They were going after the big bad Lakers. They still had Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant and Lamar Odom and Pau Gasol and those guys. They were the guy that was trying to take down the empire that was the Lakers. We just hate greatness, and I'll never get it. We'll pick up with this conversation coming up later on more in the show, because we'll have the phone lines up and running by that point. But I'm just curious, why is it that we hate greatness so much? It drives me up the wall. When you tune into sports, do you want to watch the worst of the worst? Do you want to watch no, I don't want to watch the good guy. I want to watch the middle of the pack guys. Let's forget the starters. I want to see the bench start tonight. I want to see the average guy. No, you tune into sports to watch the great players. If you go to an NBA game and the starters don't play, you get mad. Why? I'm not spending money to not watch that's what we do. We want to see the greats. We want to watch the greats, but yet we hate the greats. I'll never understand that. ESPN Radio's Ian Fitzsimmons. He joins us next. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
This afternoon will be mainly clear and sunny, a high near 30. Tonight's going to be partly cloudy, a low around 16. And tomorrow will be mainly clear and sunny, a high near 32. I'm Pete Spivak for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Weather is brought to you by Cullet Propane. 98% of their customers recommend Cullet. If you wouldn't recommend your current supplier, check them out at culletpropane.com.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What do you get when you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor? You get someone who understands there's an art to listening. Who's able to hear more than what's being said and can provide tailored small business solutions that make you feel truly heard.
I understand. Let's get started.
For advice on everything from laptops to the cloud and solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
Hey, y'all, this is your girl, Cheryl Underwood, and I want to tell you something. My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge? For a coupon and daily support, sign up at metamucil.com today.
Winter is here. Rob's Beer Barn is stocked with the newest seasonal beers and refreshments. That means Rob's Beer Barn has you covered for all your needs, including for the big game on Sunday, February 7th. At Rob's, you can find all the ice-cold refreshments you'll need. Craft, imported, local, and seasonal beers, fine wine, snacks, and ice. Rob's has it all. And for last-minute items, you can call, walk in, or drive through. Stop in and stock up today. Rob's Beer Barn on Indian Ripple Road at Darst, just a mile east of the green. Rob's Beer Barn, just look for the beaver.
First Florist and Greenhouses, the official florist of ESPN 1410 WING. Order your Valentine's Day bouquet now at 937-223-1213 or online at firsttheflorist.com. FURST, First Florist and Greenhouses.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Assurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
PSC. There are so many razors out there. How do you choose which one's right for you? Well, at Dollar Shave Club, we got you. With a 6-blade cartridge for daily shavers with short hair and a 4-blade cartridge for less frequent shavers with longer hair. Still confused? Well, we put both blades in one new starter box, so you can test drive both. Check out dollarshaveclub.com/ESPN, dollarshaveclub.com/ESPN, and visit DSC at your nearest store. You've got questions, we got answers. Welcome to the club.
Now at a store near you.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash back with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. We got a big week for you again as we're getting closer and closer to the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. We're allowed to say it's the big game, right? We're allowed, I get all nervous sometimes. I'm like, wait, how are we allowed to use the word Super Bowl in a live show? We're good, right?
I believe
I have no clue what the rules are.
We're not selling anything.
If you ask our bosses, I have a habit of always having a habit of saying the wrong thing, which is not a good habit of being in when you host a 3-hour radio show daily. So there's that. Let's bring on our next guest. Again, talking all things Super Bowl as we get closer and closer to the Bucs and the Chiefs coming up on Sunday. You can hear Ian Fitzsimmons weeknights along with Freddie Coleman starting at 9 p.m. right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Ian Fitzsimmons joining us now. Ian, welcome in, sir. How are you?
Doing well, man. Doing well. How are you guys doing? By the way, Kevin, how often do you get NWO references, just out of curiosity?
Every single day.
At what point did it get old? I mean, I'm assuming it was like day 3.
Probably somewhere around like week 4. It's just like try to explain why my name is this. Just some people don't buy it because I'm not a wrestling fan.
That's where I was going to go with it. He hates wrestling.
I loved wrestling growing up. I mean, Dusty Rhodes and Hacksaw, Butch Duggan, and all that stuff. But man, the Junkyard Dog.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, this new stuff I can't watch. But that was the last era was NWO when I was watching wrestling. I'm like, I'm going on with Kevin. Another former Tennessee Volunteer. It ain't the same guy. But I just had to ask how often you get it, and I'm assuming. Yeah, from idiots like me, every damn day.
It's all good, man. Good times.
So, look, we brought you on because we wanted your thoughts on Edge winning the Royal Rumble this past Sunday.
I don't even know who that is. I got no idea, right? You want to go old school, man, like Ric Flair and whatnot, I'm in, babe. But, I mean, these new guys, no idea.
Ric Flair was on the Royal Rumble card. He wasn't in the match itself, but, his daughter wrestled, so he played a role in the Royal Rumble card. But anyways, interestingly enough, so there's that. But we want to bring you in on the conversation conversation we had to open up. It's funny, like, across sports radio, any sports, television, what have you. Tom Brady, it's all about Tom Brady. It's all about Patrick Mahomes. But the second you go read the comment section with anything Tom Brady, or if we even mention his name on the show, so much venom is spewed about Tom Brady. What is it about Tom Brady, who is so likable, but yet probably the most unlikable character in all of the National Football League? What is it about him that makes him so unlikable for some? And don't say flat footballs. If anyone out there thinks flat footballs are why he's great, I mean, they don't know football. And hopefully that's not your response.
No, hell no. Look, I mean, it's everything about the man. And look, people are envious of success. People don't remember what he was coming into Michigan. He was like the 7th quarterback on the depth chart and fought his way all the way up and split time with Drew Henson in his final senior year. And people thought, now look back and go, Lloyd Carr, I mean, what the hell were you thinking? No wonder you didn't win a national championship with Tom Brady as your quarterback. Well, he wasn't Tom Brady that we see now, but he fought for all of that. And then you go from Bridget Moynihan to Giselle. God, you hate the guy, right? I mean, the dimple in his damn chin, I mean, is annoying. But he's this good-looking guy who's got a supermodel wife, great kids, and, oh, by the way, playing in his 10th Super Bowl.
That'll do it.
10. I mean, dude, Marcus Spears, he played 9 years in the league, and this guy's going to his 10th Super Bowl. I mean, it's insane what he's been able to accomplish, and he's still playing at a grotesquely high level. He's kicking Father Time right now in the cojones, man. Over 4,600 yards passing. I mean, what he did this year was nothing short of remarkable, and I give Bruce Arians and Tom Brady a ton of credit. After their bye week, they really sat down and said, all right, what's working well for us? And we talked to Arians about this, and he said, look, we looked at this and said, this part of our playbook is not working. Gone. This, we're going to do less. We're going to do more with less. Less is going to be more. And it's worked. And ever since that bye week, there is not a single team in the NFL that's averaging more points per game, more yards per play, and time of possession than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it all starts with that guy wearing 12. And we all hate him for it.
Now, I've been talking to a lot of my buddies about the Super Bowl. Everybody in my friend group thinks that the Chiefs are going to blow Tampa Bay out. And I think the game is going to be real close because of the simple fact that they're playing shuffling chairs on the Chiefs offensive line. They're already down their starting tackles. Now a situation going on with the center with COVID and everything like that. I think that big matchup goes between Tampa Bay's front four and the offensive line with the Kansas City Chiefs, because if they're able to get pressure, then Mahomes might be in trouble.
I could not agree with you more. And it's a backup center that was at the barber shop with DeMarcus Robinson, and their barber got tested positive for COVID, and that's why Daniel Kilgore and DeMarcus Robinson they have not tested positive. They are just in contract tracing protocol. But I agree with you, man. When Eric Fisher goes down, now you're moving Mike Remmers. Ask Carolina Panther fans about Mike Remmers. You're moving Remmers from right to left, and Remmers was a backup to Schwartz, who was your starting right tackle. But he went out early in the year, so at least Remmers has gotten some valuable reps in this offense. But he's switching sides now, so now you have a backup going to left tackle, a backup right tackle. You're big nicked up inside. And the way Shaq Barrett and JPP are firing off the edges right now, I mean, Shaq Barrett, that first step should be illegal. I mean, it's naughty. I mean, it's X-rated. It's vivid video, man. We go old school. I mean, it is filthy. And when you chip in with a tight end or a running back, just go turn on the tape. He's as explosive dealing with a chip and double team as he is when he's just singled up. And when you do chip in, you know what that's doing? It's freeing up Levante David and Gavin White and Dominican Sue. That guy's not got enough credit. He is a space eater right now. He has transformed his career from being from caving the pocket and getting to the quarterback, right? To caving the pocket and freeing up and hog-tying 2-3 guys to let his linebackers run loose. That front seven for Tampa and the offensive line for Kansas City, Kevin, I could not agree with you more. I've said it a million times. over the last week and a half, and I'll continue to say it. That is where this game will be decided.
Now, the physicality of Tampa Bay secondary as well. A lot of us here in Buckeye country know the name Antoine Whitfield, but this is Antoine Whitfield Jr., who they're going to get back for the Super Bowl, the rookie safety. So the way that Tampa Bay was grabbing and super physical with the Green Bay receivers, it's really all up to the refs, right? Like how they're going to allow the game to be played.
Yeah, and I hate to even bring up refs right now. I mean, because it's being a New Orleans Saints fan, it gives me a twitch every now and then. Because I'm all about who dat, not who day. When I was in Columbus, Ohio, with Kirk Herbstreit for years, that was always a battle, man. Hey, I'm not who day, I'm who dat. But anyway, I hope it doesn't come down to how the officials, call this game. Let these guys play. I mean, you want hand fighting, let them hand fight. Both these secondaries are talented. Obviously, Kansas City led by Tyrann Mathieu. The front sevens are both aggressive. Let these two teams go play. It's a Super Bowl. The last thing you need, especially if you're Roger Goodell, is a controversial call that went against the way that the rest of the game was called. Let them play, let them hand fight, let them get after it. And that's just my opinion. That's just part of football. And I think we've gotten a little too ticky-tack in some calls, especially, over the last couple of years. In a game like this, I mean, it's the game. Let them play.
ESPN Radio's Ian Fitzsimmons with us here on the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. You speak very highly of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Is that your team that you're rolling with this weekend as we send you out to Bucs, Chiefs? What's your gut telling you right now?
It's a big gut, and it goes back to what we just talked about. That Tampa defensive front against that MASH unit. Even though Patrick Mahomes is so athletic and can get out of trouble, I just think it's going to be relentless. Todd Bowles has done a remarkable job, again, since the bye week in revamping this defense. They're healthy, they're aggressive, they're stalking guys right now. And Devin White tacked off, David tacked off. I mean, and this is one where I do believe it is truly decided with the Kansas City offensive line against that front seven. And the advantage to me is clearly with the Tampa Bay front seven. Close game. I think the Tampa Bay wins this thing. And then, Tom Brady, the guy we started out talking about, why everybody hates his dimple and his beautiful wife and his bank account and everything else about him, right? Well, guess what? I think he's taking home another Lombardi. 7 at the age of 43.
Wow. You mentioned you're a Saints fan, so is it Taysom Hill next year or Jameis?
Great question, man. And this is one thing that I love about Drew Brees, having gotten to know him a little bit over the years. He's not going to retire before the Super Bowl. He has too much respect for the game. He's not going to steal a headline. But I do believe, that scene with he and his lovely wife Brittany after the game, when they're forehead to forehead on the Superdome turf when he came out of the locker room, that said it all to me. Even before Tom Brady came out and throwing passes with his kids and telling his son, Drew Brees' kids, hey, be nice to your sister, which I thought was a great moment from Tom Brady. That moment of he and Drew Brees and his wife on the field when he came out of the locker room, that said it all to me. That was it. It's done. 11 fractured ribs, a punctured lung at 41, about to be 42 years of age. I think all of a sudden the great ones get a sense of mortality. And I think he had a remarkable sense of mortality this year. And that was it. And Tom Brady's not, by the way, and he talked about yesterday, he can see himself playing past 45. I agree with that. Because, he does not have that sense of mortality. He has not had the injury that Peyton Manning had with the neck, right? Or Drew Brees with the ribs and a punctured lung. Until he believes his body can't do it anymore, that dude will play till he's 88 if he can.
And I'll let you go now, but again, you need to go out and get your EA Sports. You need to get that back in your game, right? I mean, are you excited about the college football? EA Sports announced they're bringing the college football game back. That's the biggest news of today.
Man, dude, I have not been on the sticks since 1990.
I like it.
1992, Bill Walsh college football came out, and I'm an undergrad at Tuscaloosa, Alabama. They just shut down men's soccer to Title IX. Worst thing that ever happened to me because I went and got fat, filthy fat, drunk and stupid. And I did not put down the sticks for a good year. It cost me a year of college. So I'm glad it's back. It's awesome for the players. It's awesome for us as fans. I love the college football game, going back to Bill Walsh's Sega. But that's the last time that these paws were ever had a joystick in them. And it ain't happening again. That'd be like giving a heroin addict a needle, dude. I mean, nope, not going to do it. I wouldn't remember my kids' names if you put sticks in my hands again.
All right, well, it's going to be the Freddie Coleman show then without you once those games come out. Then there's that. You can catch Ian Fitzsimmons weeknights at 9 o'clock right here on 1410 ESPN Radio and Freddie and Fitzsimmons. Ian, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to talking to you again soon. Take care.
Hey, when my wife files divorce papers, I blame you guys. There you go, right there.
Take care. We appreciate the time.
Thanks.
All right, good stuff there. Again, that's Ian Fitzsimmons. You can catch him weeknights on Freddie and Fitzsimmons. And, we're talking about this. Like, him and Freddie Coleman have a fantastic show.
Yes.
But everyone's like, well, why do they bury him? Keep in mind, there's a West Coast, too. They are huge in the West Coast. And I'm a huge fan of Freddie Coleman and Ian Fitzsimmons, too. So I was excited to kind of get him on the show. But very entertaining, and we appreciate him coming on and hanging out with us. Looking ahead to this Sunday. Again, Tampa Chiefs. Not enough love being given to the Bucs, but it was interesting to hear. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why.
Yeah, man, they're physical, man. They're physical in the secondary. They're physical up front. It's going to be a game, man. I still think the Chiefs are going to win ultimately, but it's not going to be what people think. Like, I talk to a lot of my buddies. They're talking, oh, man, they got too many weapons, too many this. Like, well, can't get the ball to those cool weapons if you can't block up front, man. And they're dealing with a lot of backups on Kansas City Chiefs front line. So it's going to be a good game, man. I'm looking forward to it.
We opened up the show talking about Tom Brady. Why is he so disliked? I mean, all the guy does is win. When I think about sports, if someone's going to offer me tickets to a game, I want to know who I'm going to go watch. Are there stars in the game? Is it worth watching? Everything about sports is about going to watch the best product possible, but yet we hate the best of the best when it comes to that. It always fascinates me, and it's not just a Tom Brady topic. It's LeBron James in the NBA, the Yankees in Major League Baseball. The Cowboys haven't won a damn Super Bowl in 3 decades now, but I mean, they were the face of that. But the Patriots have kind of taken over as that a little bit, and even individuals in the NFL as far as that goes. But we'll pick up with that conversation coming up later on the show. But Ryan Roth, he chimes in and says, my experience is that if you don't have haters, you ain't doing your job. And not a whole lot of haters. But never mind, I ain't gonna go there. I'm gonna be nice. But Ryan Roth also says Shaq Barrett was unbelievable versus Green Bay. Again,
yes, sir.
A lot of talk about the offense for the Chiefs, but it's the defense of the Bucs that's going to be the difference maker there. Speaking of Shaq Barrett, anytime I can come across a story that makes the Cincinnati Bengals look bad, I am all for it. I mean, I am all for it. Anytime I come across a story that embarrasses the Cincinnati Bengals, I love it. And Bengals fans hate me, and that's fine, but you're going to hate me even more when we talk about this story on the other side. The Cincinnati Bengals, well, they pulled the Bengals is the Bengals. That's going to be the new thing moving forward. Shaq Barrett, you're right, Ryan, was unbelievable against Green Bay. Shaq Barrett's been one of the most unbelievable pass rushers in football over the last couple of years. But there's a good chance had the Bengals done their job, he wouldn't even be playing in this Super Bowl. I'll explain on the other side. The Bengals is the Bengals. I'll explain when we come back.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise, and save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Napa know-how. Getting $20 back when you buy a Napa Legend premium battery is a win-win. Getting it from the best car people around is a win-win-win. Getting it before you're stranded somewhere, that's a win-win-win-win. Save $20 when you get a Napa Legend premium battery. And if that sounds like a lot of wins, you're right. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care Centers while supplies last. Offer ends 2/28/21.
New to the Wendy's 2 for $5 lineup is their classic chicken sandwich. Go grab a 2 for $5 deal and pick 2 faves like a Dave Single Nugs and now the classic chicken sandwich 2 for $5. Price and participation may vary, limited time.
Frank's Red Hot is the perfect blend of flavor and heat. That's why you can use an entire bottle to make buffalo chicken dip, the kind you might make for when you're watching the game at home. And maybe this year there's less people around to watch the game with. Yay! But that just means there's more dip, and it's all for you. Some of you may say, that's too much dip, but deep down in your heart of hearts, you know it isn't. So go ahead, finish it. Frank's Red Hot don't judge. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on.
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control.
Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Buonasera.
Buonasera. How can I make the most of waiting for my next big vacation?
Translate your questions into goals by investing with Merrill Edge Self-Directed. It's more accessible than you think, with helpful planning tools plus free online stock and ETF trades, so you can keep practicing your pronunciation. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/withinreach to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated. Registered broker-dealer, member SIPC. Other fees may apply. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that.
Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now during the Ultimate Sleep Number event, save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus special financing on all smart beds, only for a limited time. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Attention Class A CDL drivers. Looking to be more than just a number? Yoel Transportation in Dayton is looking for drivers with at least 1.5 years experience. Yoel has open positions for no-tarp flatbed drivers and no-touch regional or local van drivers. Yoel is ELD compliant and offers 401k with match, medical, dental, vision, holiday pay, vacation, safety bonuses, and now has a rider policy. Call Rick or Joe at 937-294-5933 and ask about the $5,000 sign-on bonus today.
Watch your favorite TV channels now with help from Menards. Receive local HD digital broadcast channels for free with the help of RCA antennas. Watch the big game or catch up on the latest shows without the need for a cable subscription or an internet connection. An RCA amplified indoor TV antenna is perfect for better reception. Pick it up now for $14.99 at Menards. Sale prices are good through Saturday, February 13th.
Save big money at Menards.
Hello? Hi, I'm calling on behalf of the Mice Nest. Mice Nest? Yes, Mice Nest. It's a nest of mice. They finished chewing through your RV wiring, so the fire should start soon. Can we cancel that? Oh, sorry. Once scheduled, they can't really stop because they're mice. A nest of them.
RV owners can't schedule when things go wrong on the road. That's why there's Progressive, a leader in RV insurance.
Oh, and if you could stay on the line for a quick survey.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Without more licensed workers, Gary's roofing business might hit its ceiling.
Hey, that new contract just got pushed up. We are going to need all hands on deck to make this happen.
Hey, Gary, you booked me on that other job next week.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
DSC. There are so many razors out there. How do you choose which one's right for you? Well, at Dollar Shave Club, we got you. With a 6-blade cartridge for daily shavers with short hair and a 4-blade cartridge for less frequent shavers with longer hair. Still confused? Well, we put both blades in one new starter box, so you can test drive both. Check out dollarshaveclub.com/premier. That's dollarshaveclub.com/premier. And visit DSC at your nearest store. You've got questions, we got answers. Welcome to the club.
Now at a store near you.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding driveways, and save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drive ice is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Hindsight is 2020. 2020 was a brutal year with a lot we couldn't control. Pandemic, economy, unemployment. What can we control? Our job, our career. Don't look back with 2020 hindsight next year and see yourself in that 2020 job. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. Live online classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TrackPhone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TrackPhone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on.
This is your wake-up call, people. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control.
Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at trackphone.com.
Remember, customize and save with Liberty Mutual Insurance Company. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
There are many ways to catch the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. You can catch it live right here on 1410 Wing AM, or you can stream the show at wingam.com. But now we have another way that you can take in the show. You can now watch the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash live on ESPN Dayton's Facebook page. Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio. Whether you're at home, at work, or in your car, tune in to ESPN 1410 Wing AM or stream us live at wingam.com.
All right, guys, we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, Kevin Nash with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. With it being February, that means, well, Valentine's Day is coming up just around the corner. And I want to give a shout out to a show partner, a show sponsor in First Florist and Greenhouses. And again, they have provided us, they're helping us help you. So we appreciate First Florist and Greenhouses. They're helping us help you. Guys, don't wait to the last moment to get her that special gift for Valentine's Day. In fact, we're here to help you out. For one, we're reminding you well in advance. If for all of our listeners, if any of you break up after Valentine's Day because you forgot it or you waited to the last minute to plan something, that's on you. Shame on you. All right. But First Florist and Greenhouses has provided us with a free dozen roses and a vase that, of course, you can come away with by doing this. I need you, if you're listening, we appreciate that. We need you to head to Facebook. Head to Facebook, search The Justin Kinner Show. You need to like and follow The Justin Kinner Show page. And then the live video feed. We are live on Facebook right now. If you head to Facebook, search The Justin Kinner Show, take the live video feed and share it, you are automatically enrolled into the drawing to win a free dozen roses and a vase that you can give to your significant other this Valentine's Day. So, and again, the dozen roses and the vase come from First Florist and Greenhouses. You can also call them at 937-223-1213 or conveniently order online at firsttheflorist.com. That's firsttheflorist.com. That's FURST, theflorist.com. So again, you can count on being one lucky winner to win the free dozen roses and a vase to give to your significant other this Valentine's Day, or you can order ahead now by calling 223-1213 or conveniently ordering online at firsttheflorist.com. That's FURST. First Florist and Greenhouses, the official florist of ESPN 1410 Wing AM.
What's your plans for Valentine's Day, you and the lady?
No clue. No clue. I'm just saying, no, I have no idea. In fact, I might be calling the number provided. I might go to Facebook and share my page just to be able to have the free rose. No,
there you go.
Nora absolutely hates flowers. She's adamant, and I'm always like, and then I have people tell me, no, she's saying she hates flowers. You still got to get no. She gets mad when I get her flowers because she goes, they're expensive, and all I do is throw them out. She goes, do not waste money on flowers.
So,
but she never tells me what to get her instead.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
I really don't need anything. I'm like, no, we're not doing that game. I'm too old for games. Just tell me what you want, and I'll get. But no. So I have to find something else to surprise her with. But she was mad, so I can't. She's not about the flowers. So I'm like, why? But I'm going to get her flowers anyway.
Back when the world was open, I would bum Funny Bone tickets off of you and go to the Funny Bone for Valentine's Day because there's always a cool show up there and go get something to eat up at the Green.
Yep.
But now we're going to order some takeout. We actually have this pretty cool a paint and sip situation going on. Yeah. My sister-in-law bought this for Christmas, so we're gonna be doing some painting and some sipping on some wine and eating some takeout for Valentine's Day, man. So those are my plans.
All right, but again, we're giving away, thanks to First Florist and Greenhouses, partner up with the show. We're giving away a free dozen roses and a vase for you to give your significant other this Valentine's Day. So make sure you head to Facebook. The best way to win the free dozen roses and a vase is heading to Facebook. Search the Justin Kinner Show. You have to like and follow the page and share the live video feed, okay? You could watch the show. You could jump in the comment section, and we can, again, share the live video feed. That's how your name will automatically be entered into the drawing. The Facebook page that you share the live video feed with is the Facebook page that we will be contacting to let you know how you could pick up your free roses. In fact, you don't even have to come here to the station to pick them up. You can go directly to First Florist and Greenhouses, provide your name. They'll have your info there, and they'll hook you up and make sure you have one awesome gift for your significant other this Valentine's Day. So one more time, Facebook, search the Justin Kinner Show, like and follow the Justin Kinner Show page, and share the live video feed to have a shot to win a free dozen roses and a vase this Valentine's Day. And again, we'll be doing this every day. You can share it, and every day, the more you do it, we keep track of how many times you've shared it. We keep track of all of that. We'll be drawing that on Friday. You'll be contacted on Friday, and we'll announce the winner on the show so you know who was. Actually, maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. They'll get busted. No. Who cares? We're going to announce the winner.
Yeah, we announced the winner. Put them on Front Street.
So, all right. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. So before, we just had Ian Fitzsimmons on. Shout out to him again. You can catch him, Freddie and Fitzsimmons weeknights at 9 o'clock right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. But there was, he talked about how impressive the Bucs are, the Buccaneers, and mainly because of the defense. And a lot of attention is being given, of course, to the Tom Brady storyline, going for his 7th Super Bowl, and in the 10th Super Bowl, going for number 7. Obviously that's the headline. Then you have Patrick Mahomes, you have the old goat, the young goat, kind of the handing off of everything. But the one thing we're forgetting about is just how good this Bucs defense is, and part of how good this Bucs defense is because of their pass rush. And on that defensive line, there's an individual named Shaq Barrett. Well, Shaq Barrett, interestingly enough, this comes out of Paul Dehner Jr. with The Athletic, who covers the Cincinnati Bengals. Another embarrassing Cincinnati Bengals story. And again, anytime I come across these, I just have to share them. But it does tie in with the Super Bowl. It's even better. It's content that makes sense. I'm not just, forcing it. It makes sense. Shaq Barrett's one of the best pass rushers in all of football, and he could have been a Cincinnati Bengal. In fact, there was terms of agreement between Shaq Barrett and the Cincinnati Bengals as of 2 years ago, according to this report from The Athletic and Paul Dehner Jr. The Cincinnati Bengals almost signed edge rusher Shaq Barrett 2 off seasons ago, Kev. They pulled the offer, and he went on to sign a 1-year deal with the Buccaneers. And since then, he's posted 19.5 sacks. Paul Dehner Jr. revealed more to the story. But guess what? There was never a shoulder injury. The Bengals, who had come to an agreement with him for a contract, their doctors, did the evaluation and said, oh, no, his shoulder is tore up. He's damaged goods. I wouldn't waste money. By the way, Cincinnati Bengals, we're talking about 2 years. 2 years. You're going to sign him for 2 years. And his shoulder's a little banged up, but there's been no history of him having any shoulder injuries. And somehow the Cincinnati Bengals found this phantom shoulder injury. He goes on to the Bucs. He gets a second and third opinion. There is no shoulder damage. There was never a shoulder injury. And now he goes on to be one of the best pass rushers. So this past season, you move on from Carlos Dunlap. You talk about Geno Atkins and others. They're just not providing what you thought. The Bengals could have had one of the best pass rushing defenses in football had they just gotten out of their own way. It's unbelievable. The Bengals is the Bengals. You want to make fun of the Browns? Oh, Browns is the Bengals is the Bengals. They've had opportunity. You've moved on from Carlos Dunlap. You could have had Shaq Barrett, but
could have had Shaq Barrett on one side and Carl Lawson on the other.
And it's unbelievable the depth they would have had on that defensive line. Now, how much would it have made a difference? I think it would have made a lot of a difference. I think that it really would have changed the direction of the Bengals in regards to how competitive they would have been. But then again, you can also argue, had they not, been so dysfunctional of a franchise, they never would have got Joe Burrow. To our conversation from the other day about, again, bad organizations getting bailed out by being bad. That's the setup of not just the NFL, but every sport out there. You reward the bad teams with the best players out of college. It drives me nuts. But this is a quote from Shaq Barrett said, They said I had something wrong with my shoulder or something like that. I don't have anything wrong with my shoulder. That's when they pulled off, which had me pretty upset because I was putting all of my eggs into that basket. I thought Cincinnati would have been the right move for me. You mean to tell me there was someone out there who actually looked at Cincinnati and said, man, I could see myself settling down here. I like this team. I like this organization. Man, you better woo the hell. You better call First Florist and be waiting for him at the airport with a dozen roses in a damn vase. The fact that this is coming out, that a player that's playing in the Super Bowl, that is one of the main reasons the team's in the Super Bowl this Sunday, is coming out and saying, man, I really like Cincinnati. I would have loved to have set up shop there. And this phantom shoulder injury that did not exist, that no other team found, that he had no history of shoulder injuries, issues at all. And the Bengals somehow find this phantom, and that's what scared him off. I think it's all BS, by the way. I think that they wanted to find something wrong. I don't think they wanted to commit financially to him, and that's why. But it's still not a good look for an organization that continues to do the woe is me, the, oh, man, we just don't, we're trying to change the culture. We're trying to do. Well, the culture for the Bucs seems pretty damn good with a guy named Shaq Barrett leading the way on the defensive line right there. It's unbelievable. But he goes on to say, it would have been a right move for me and my family. They offered me a 2-year contract, and my agent was sure that this would be a good opportunity for him. It would have been the most money he's ever made with the most security. And that's all he wanted was just, security and stability for his family. Well, Cincinnati, they're as loyal as a franchise out there. You don't even have to be good, and they're going to be loyal to you. So this is a problem, Kev. It's just another. And look, the Bengals aren't the only one to have these kind of reports come out on. Like the Browns have had embarrassing reports coming out on them too. You remember the article about the Browns that came out a few years ago that they are professional meetings upstairs, and when they came out, there was porn playing on the display. Like someone had pulled up a website that was being displayed across the entire building.
I did not hear about that.
It was the funniest thing I'd ever read in my life. And I'm like, the Browns is the Browns. I agree. They're embarrassing, but I still think that's worse than this, but at least this is still pretty bad. I mean, this is bad.
For a guy like Shaq Barrett, undrafted free agent, coming out of a small school, he sticks around with Denver for a couple years, and then he's trying to make his big play in free agency to go to the Cincinnati Bengals. And then that doesn't work out. He ends up in Tampa. And then last year, he has like 19 sacks last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's no guarantee would have had 19 with the Bengals. We know that. But that's quite alarming.
No, because Zach Taylor would have come up with a defensive scheme to not use them. But no, you're exactly right. It's just like in basketball. Oh, he averaged 20-some points for this team. If you use him the same way over here, he'll score that amount. But no, I definitely agree with.
Well, yeah, it's a bad look. It's a bad look because a guy that's been so dominant, and then you look at what he did to the Green Bay Packers offensive line in the NFC Championship game. I thought that was kind of really overlooked about how the game played out last week in the NFC Championship game. So much was focused on what Aaron Rodgers didn't do when he was outside the pocket and him forcing the balls. Well, he's forcing a ton of passes because he was under a ton of pressure, and a lot of that pressure was coming from Shaq Barrett. So, the best way to affect any good quarterback, to affect the best quarterbacks of all time, is to get pressure on them. That's how the Giants were able to beat New England Patriots twice, because they were able to get pressure on Tom Brady with a front four. And that's what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were able to do to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. So we don't know what he would have did with the Bengals. It is a bad look for him to go get another physical from another team, and they say he's A-okay, and then sign him up for a nice contract. So he's setting himself up for another nice contract in the near future.
Yeah, and again, it is what it is. I don't think that the Bengals, that they were a Shaq Barrett away from being a different team. They still had way too many flaws. But look, they were historically bad defensively over the last couple of years, Kevin. 457-9464. We'll open up the phone lines. And they have been historically bad for the last couple of seasons. That would have made a difference there. And the other thing too, and I'm getting this sent in, keep in mind, if the Bengals were heading in the direction of a rebuild, maybe that's why they chose to go in a different direction. Well, had they been an adult and said, hey, actually, after evaluating this further, we're about to enter a rebuild. This wouldn't really make much sense for us to commit to you financially long term. But that's not what happened here. We're talking about a blunder again within the Bengals organization of this phantom shoulder injury that didn't make sense. And that didn't exist. It's not that it didn't make sense, Kevin, it just didn't exist. There was no records out there showing that he has any kind of structural damage to that shoulder at all. But the Bengals somehow, you got Dr. Gregory House running things. I mean, the smartest doctor in the world running things for you and found this phantom injury that doesn't exist. I don't get it. So I think that's a problem from that standpoint. It's just another example. When you think over the last couple of years when they couldn't get the fax machine to work to pull off a trade, they could, you know what I mean? Like they couldn't get, it's just,
I'm
it's
with
always
you,
those
but why are they still
embarrassing
using
stories.
fax machines? Why is the NFL still using fax machines? And, you know,
We still use fax machines. We just,
do we?
Huh?
I don't.
No, me and you.
I scanned it on my phone and sent a PDF.
Hey, listen, when you work in sales, the fax machine is actually like it's everyone's best friend. You pretend you're going to make a copy. You pretend you're going to go talk to someone. This is pre-COVID. You pretend you're going to go visit with a coworker, but really you're just side-eyeing the fax machine to see, because sometimes businesses will say, hey, we need this. I don't know why you just don't email, but hey, we'll take any orders any way we can get. So that's fine by me, but it's interesting. I'm just
Speaking of fax machines, tomorrow is National Signing Day, and they still use fax machines to send in National Signing Letter Days.
Hey, I like it. I like that old school.
Crazy.
It's better. I mean, it is what it is.
That is weird, man. There's a lot of technology in the world. Still using the fax machine.
So you're not saying get off my lawn. You're saying get on my lawn with new technology.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, we're dealing with 18-year-old kids.
You're doing the opposite. I was about to say you're the get off my lawn, but you're the opposite of the get off my lawn guy.
Like, just new technology, man.
You're saying replace my lawn with AstroTurf guy. That's you. That's Kev Nash right now, as far as that's concerned. By the way, I'm keeping an eye. We're a lot of people are heading to Facebook. They're sharing the page. That's good. That's how you win the free dozen roses. In fact, Ann Anderson, this is pretty cool. She messages in. She goes, Justin, how about a live rose bush? Hey, by the way, you don't need to ask me. You need a First Florist. This is their thing. I can't just offer you a rose bush from First Florist. But I love what she says here, Kev. She goes, I have one growing that the love of her life got her years ago. It's a perfect reminder of 48 years of marriage.
Hey,
so there you
congratulations. Congratulations. I'll be married 9 years in August, man. I can't believe it.
Really?
Yes.
Nor and I have been together 8. And we'll be together 9 by the time we're married. So there's that. So we're back. So there you go. 8 years of bliss before the real bliss begins. So there's that. But no, 457-9464. If you're just tuning in, you have an opportunity here with Valentine's Day coming up around the corner. Thanks to our sponsor, First Florist and Greenhouses. Shout out to them. They do a fantastic job. And again, they're going to hook you up this Valentine's Day. The best, you can win a free dozen roses and a vase that you can give to your significant other this Valentine's Day by heading to Facebook, searching The Justin Kinner Show. You need to like the show page. Okay. You need to like the show page. And then we are live. We're video streaming the show live on the show page, so you need to share that. So you need to like the page and share. We're going to cross-reference. We're going to make sure that everyone that shared it is also liked the page, and then that's how we're going to put your name into a drawing to win the free dozen roses and a vase. The page that the Facebook page that you like the show page with is how we're going to contact you, so keep that in mind for those of you who make the fake pages to win contests like this. I don't care how you do it. Just do it. That's all I care about as far as that goes. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. But yes, as I was joking and saying, Kev, any reason I can find to kind of poke fun at the Bengals, I'm definitely going to do that. But no, to be honest, to be fair to the Bengals here, Shaq Barrett, it would have been nice for them to have him. I just don't know it wouldn't have made a difference. I don't think that I don't know how much significantly better they are over the last couple of years with him because of how many holes that they've had. Mm-hmm. They've had so many woes on the offensive end. You have the coaching transition there. It's not a good look for the Bengals. It's just not. But at the same time, I'm not saying this saying, oh man, see, you could have been a playoff team. Right. You could have won a Super Bowl. That's not how any of this would have gone.
And you're absolutely right, because in that year, last year, we had 19 sacks. The Buccaneers were 7-9.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, you had 8 sacks. They're headed to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, you just don't know. You just have no idea. I just think back, looking at the Buccaneers perspective, when your quarterback has 30 plus turnovers, you're not going nowhere. At all. Like, it's just that simple.
All right, it's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. If you missed the interview with Ian Fitzsimmons, that's going to be up at wingam.com. You can go and check it out. Also, keep in mind you can download and subscribe the Justin Kinner Show podcast in your Apple iTunes and Google Play Store. The second that the show is over, the show in its entirety is posted right into your podcast section, as well as select segments and all interviews, including the one we just did with Ian Fitzsimmons. We do have another Fitz. By the way, we have Ian Fitzsimmons and Jason Fitz on today's show. ESPN Radio's Jason Fitz will join us That's coming up in hour 2 at 4:30. We'll dive more into the Super Bowl talk. Plus, we'll get into more of this Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick. I saw that Amendola, I guess, on a recent radio interview, Kev, said that Tom Brady, it's as simple as this. It's Tom Brady was the Patriot way. Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl. The Patriots are not. It's clear that that's the really. The Patriots hadn't been. They weren't in the Super Bowl last year, and they had Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. So that whole take doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. It's as simple as this: Tom Brady went to a team of talent. Bill Belichick has a roster with no talent. It's as simple as that. It's going to be a couple years before we realize just how important they were to one another. Right. But you give Bill Belichick a talented roster, he's going to win a Super Bowl too. And he doesn't, I don't think he needs Tom Brady to win a Super Bowl, just like I don't think Tom Brady needs Bill Belichick to win one. It's the basics here. Talent. You just need talent. That's all. Hour 2 next, by the way, college football is back. Well, I mean, not till August, but no, for real, like it could be as early as June.
Let's go.
Right? Like the old video games used to come out in June, correct?
Yes, sir. July. Yep.
Okay.
July.
Well, maybe. I don't know when the release. So EA Sports, breaking news today, announced that, the return of their college football video game is back. And by the way, Kev, I had to sit on it for a little bit because I saw the tweet and I had this, I had the post written up on the websites. And I was like, but what if this is fake? Like, I would hate to share this and it be fake because I have no clue how they're putting a video game out. There's all this legal jargon going on about how the pay-to-play stuff, abusing the player's likeness, right? Mm-hmm. Like, how are they doing this? I don't really care how they're doing it. I'm just glad that they are. You and I had a good conversation about, okay, well, who should the face of the cover of the new EA Sports college football game be? And that's what the name of it is now. What did it used to be? NCAA college football?
Yeah.
I think that's how they're getting away from it too, by the way. I think they're paying the rights to the NCAA for this game. It's not the NCAA college football game anymore. It's EA Sports college football.
Yeah.
But who should be the face of the cover? Which team should have a player on the cover? Should it be a coach? Should it be, what I think it should be, maybe the college football playoff? There's a lot we can do here. But if you look back, the last time there was a game was 2014, but for the 13th season, as you and I discussed. So we haven't had a game in, 6-7 years now since the college football playoff started. I think you should take the best player of the college football playoff era and slap that baby up on the cover of the EA Sports college football game when it comes out later this year. That's what I'm thinking it should be. But who should that be? Should it be Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence? I think you should put Nick Saban's big old head right there on that cover, baby. He's won 3 national championships in that time frame. We'll be back in a moment. Hour 2 next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
Justin, you're awesome, baby.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Super Week 2021 on ESPN Radio.
You take Tom Brady and put him on the Jacksonville Jaguars, all of a sudden, they win the division.
Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time for now. Every year Patrick Mahomes does not win the Super Bowl, it feels like a failure.
The Buccaneers and Chiefs. Coverage begins with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin at 6 Eastern and continues all day.
Pick them every year from now until 2030.
Super Week 2021 on ESPN Radio.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
You have empty office space to fill or home office to create. You know what you need. You know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places what you need and what you like might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week there's something new. If you need office furniture, Larrick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half the price and below manufacturer's selected prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. Selection from budget to the best. Really, desks from $50 to $5,000. Filing cabinets from $25 to $500. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. With 25,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to go anywhere else. Larrick's Warehouse Outlet at 23 McOil Avenue, Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Larrick's, continuing the tradition.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Discover and enjoy your favorite music, news, and talk radio from live stations across the country. Listen anywhere on all mobile and home devices with the radio.com app.
First Florist and Greenhouses, the official florist of ESPN 1410 WING. Order your Valentine's Day bouquet now at 937-223-1213 or online at firsttheflorist.com. FURST, First Florist and Greenhouses.
New to the Wendy's 2 for $5 lineup is their classic chicken sandwich. Go grab a 2 for $5 deal and pick 2 faves like a Dave Single, Nugs, and now the classic chicken sandwich 2 for $5. Price and participation may vary, limited time.
We are Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Into the end zone goes Chris Olave. KJ Hill, 6-yard touchdown catch. Right sideline and down he goes to the end zone.
WING 1410 Dayton's ESPN Radio. It's the Justin Kinner Show, live here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM. Tweet the show at 1410 Kinner or give us a call at 457-9464. We now send you to the Wing Studios in Kettering. Here's your host, Justin Kinner.
Justin Kinner, Kevin Nash back with you here, hour 2, Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. All right, this is interesting, too. I couldn't believe this. Earlier today, I'm just kind of sitting on Twitter, scrolling through, and all of a sudden, EA Sports puts out that, hey, college football is back. They're releasing a college football game once again, and that was my absolute favorite game growing up. I played that and the basketball game religiously. Like, those were my two favorites. And then when I got into college, we switched over to 2K for the NBA game. That's all we did. I remember, like, the guys I played basketball with, we all would be an individual, we'd all pick our player, and then we'd all be on the same team, and then we kind of all be on the, like, you know what I mean? It was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. Like, that's what we did. But the last EA Sports game that I have is the Denard one with him on the cover, and then the Blake Griffin one for college basketball. That one's pretty cool because, you could play at the Nutter Center, you could play UD Arena, you could kind of do it all a little bit. It's pretty neat. So they're bringing the football one back. I can't wait for them to bring the basketball one back, too.
I can't wait for any of it, man. I am so pumped for this, man. I saw it come down on my timeline as well, and I had to pull over. I was headed to the station. I had to pull over because I couldn't believe it was real. I had to read the entire story right there on the spot. I called my brother immediately. He didn't believe me. I sent him a link. We're both screaming, yelling, going crazy, and now my phone line is blowing up because all my friends that stopped playing after this game got discontinued have to go buy a new Xbox or a new PlayStation because they're bringing it out on the new system. So, we're ready. I'm ready. I hope it comes out this year. I hope they're not dragging it out till 2022. Bring it out July, please. I want it. I need it.
And what's funny about that too, and I think back to, like, I don't talk to a lot of my former teammates or college friends or anything too often, but the way we used to stay in contact all the time was playing those video games live. I mean, hell, even when I was in college, when I was living in Dayton and some old friends from high school, the way we would still talk and hang out all the time would be, do Xbox Live and playing the game that way. But this is pretty dang cool. But there's so much that, question marks that come with it. They never discussed a release date.
Yeah.
They didn't talk about any details about basically the legalities of it, how they came about to having this done. Clearly, this has been in the talks for a while. This isn't just something that, hey, by the way, let's just go ahead and bring the game back and announce we're coming back. I'm really confused as to how they're going to do it, because there is so much of the legality talks in college athletics right now with the, with the player likeness and the pay to play and everything else that's going on, Kev. So I'm surprised that they were able to pull this off. I just hope that, they're giving us something.
Yeah.
But I do wonder how much, you know what I mean? Like, there has to be at some point the NCAA is going to look to take something from this, but the NCAA can't get anything from this without being criticized for the players not getting something too, right? Like, that's where I'm confused as to how this is going to come about. But you know what? We can worry about that later.
Yeah.
The bottom line is this is pretty dang cool, and I'm pretty pumped about it. So with that being said, well, when the cover comes out, when the game comes out, what's the game going to be? What's it going to look like? Mm-hmm. Who's going to be on the cover? And who should be on the cover? That's the fun part about Madden, is always trying to guess who's going to be on the cover. And the NBA, who's going to be on the cover? They put Kobe Bryant on the most recent NBA game that came out. I thought that was pretty cool. My favorite 2K game was the MJ. When they put Michael Jordan on the cover.
The legacy game.
Yeah, that one was cool. That was the first game that with the, really cool up-to-date graphics that you could be Michael Jordan and the Bulls, and you had Pippen, and you could be the old classic teams and everything. So the question is now, and we're live on Facebook, head to Facebook, or you can call into the show at 457-9464. who should be on when the EA Sports releases its brand new college football game here later on this year, I'm hoping, who should be on the cover? And should it be a player from this most recent season, maybe a star player heading into this coming up? By the way, who is the star for this coming up season? For a while, we've had Tua, and then we had Trevor Lawrence, and even Justin Fields / Trevor Lawrence. Who's that face of college football for next year? Mac Jones is even gone.
Right, he's gone. Probably
Uiagalelei?
Yeah.
How about that? I've been practicing.
Probably him.
So Uiagalelei, do you put DJ Uiagalelei on there? I think this is where you could be safe and maybe put the college football playoff logo on there, but that's its own brand, so I don't think you could do that.
Right.
I'm surprised they didn't just release the college football playoff video game. You know what I mean? That would have been pretty dang cool too. Player, like my suggestion is this. You can't put a player that's current. I mean, you can, I guess, but like I don't want a current player. I want to commemorate the last 7 years of no video game.
Yeah.
And to me, sorry, I got to stop reading these comments because it's like my ADD goes into full Anyways, I got to reset here. I got to regather myself and be a professional. So I think the last 7 years of not having a player or not having a video game and not being able to put players on there, I saw Joe Burrow tweet out that he absolutely is obsessed with those games. He has always wanted to be in one of those. And he said, of course, the year after he graduates, they come out with one. Right. So I was like, okay, so I think you take a great player from the last 7 years. When you think of the college football playoff era, the player that comes to your mind is who? You and I were discussing this. I mean, it could be Joe Burrow. I wouldn't have no issue with that. Buckeye fans, he will be wearing an LSU jersey, so back off. So, I mean, who do you put on the cover, Kev?
I give you three. I give you my top three. Number three for me would be Trevor Lawrence, because he's led his team to the college football playoff 3 years, won it as a freshman. That would be my number three spot. Number two spot will be Devontae Smith. Obviously, Bama won a national championship this year. He won the Heisman Trophy this year, but people forget he was the one that caught the touchdown pass to beat Georgia in the college football playoff from Tua as a freshman. So he has 2 national championships under his belt, and a prime reason why they actually won those national championships. But number one for me will be Deshaun Watson. His play versus Alabama, the first time his sophomore year when they lost 45-40, he was outstanding in that game. And then to follow it up the next year to beat Alabama in one of the best college football championship games we've ever seen, and basically a walk-off touchdown to win it, I would say Deshaun Watson would be my pick. But ultimately, I would want some type of collage of all the Heisman Trophy winners or all the big time players.
Oh, Kevin Nash going political
from the last
answering it without answering it.
The last 7 years to say, hey man, we missed out on all this great talent to put on the cover and all these guys that you would have loved to play the game with. So we're gonna put a collage of them up there. You got to think about guys. Think about Johnny Manziel didn't get on the cover, did he? I don't think Johnny Manziel was on the cover. Jameis Winston wasn't on the cover. Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Baker, Kyler, like all these other guys that deserved the opportunity to be on the cover weren't on there. So I think a collage would be pretty cool. But if I had to pick one player of the college football playoff era, I would say it's Deshaun Watson.
I do actually like your idea of the collage of just taking maybe the 7 national champions since the first game that was out, the face of each one. So whether it's Zeke or Cardale Jones for 14 and 15, you had Alabama, who won, or Clemson. That would have been Deshaun's.
No, that was Bama. Bama won that next year, 45-40. Then
when did Deshaun win a national title? The next year?
Yeah, the next year.
Okay, so I would put. Then who was the quarterback of Alabama that won that title game? I just put Derrick Henry on. Just forget it. So
he won the Heisman Trophy that year.
I would put Zeke and Derrick Henry on for 14 and 15. 16 Deshaun Watson. 17 would have been Tua, and then 18 Trevor Lawrence. 19 Joe Burrow, and 20 would be Mac Jones. So maybe that's too many players, but I mean,
they could make some cool graphic. They could make something cool. You could
figure it out. Sims was the quarterback.
Yeah. No. Blake Sims, they lost to Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl. It was Jacob Coker was their quarterback when they won the national championship.
The only way, it's the SEC network. It's the only reason we know any of this stuff. So and Tony, and by Theo, he's the one that sent in Sims. Theo, thank you for that too. He also said Stroud, look, he's a star in our eyes, but he shouldn't be because we have no clue who the hell he is. I mean, let's just be clear. I'm not going to do the Homer thing, but I mean, no, Theo, don't say my fault. You're bad. You don't need to apologize. You're good. I appreciate you. Hell, we butchered all the Lions stuff yesterday, by the way. I got people messaging me after the show saying, you guys literally know nothing about the Lions. And I said, I want to apologize about that, but I'm not.
Should we know about that?
I was like, but no. They were. I told the guy that messaged me, I was like, usually these messages are just ripping us for not knowing anything, but he was actually kind of polite about it. So I said, thank you for that.
We need Pam to call.
Yeah, Pam was, the Pam one. Yeah. Nick Saban on the cover. Tony Ruiz Moreno says, put Nick Saban on the cover.
Ooh, that would only help their recruiting.
I have no problem with that. Look, the dude's won 3 national titles since the last, college football playoff video or college football video game came out. I have no problem with that. I mean, yeah. This is a weird, now that we're talking about this, though, it got me to thinking, every year you're looking forward to that next year with the star. I don't know who the stars are for next year's college football season. There's no name, like Trevor Lawrence is gone. Mac Jones is gone, who was kind of, but Justin Fields.
I think that shows how disjointed this season was, because really the only games that I truly watched were Ohio State games. I really wasn't locked in as I would be in a normal season. I would watch a ton of football and oh man, this guy's good. This guy's good. And I would know. But since I haven't watched as much college football as I normally would have, I really don't know one either. I really can't pick one out and say, oh, this is going to be the face of the next season. But outside of DJ
Uiagalelei,
there you go. We'll say it together.
I think
I'll say the easy part. You say the hard part.
DJ Uiagalelei. I think you're going to have JT Daniels at Georgia. But again, these are recognizable names for us who are diehard college football fans. But as far as Charles Tackett said Sam Howell on the cover. Well, these aren't the
North
biggest
Carolina
names, but I think we are about to embark on a new set of stars like this coming up season.
Oh yeah.
By the way, and what we're heading into this college football season without a lot of known stars. This is why football could survive this for 1 year because the stars will be created instantly, and then you have them for the next couple. You're going to have a few years of C.J. Stroud if that's who ends up being the quarterback for Ohio State, or a few years of Jack Miller. You're going to have a couple more years of Uiagalelei with Clemson. So I think that's what makes college football so great. College basketball, they're hitting the reset button every year.
Yeah.
Our unknown for who's going to be the star of next season. This for the first time in a while, we don't know for college football. We knew that Tua was going to be there for 2 to 3 years. We knew Trevor Lawrence was going to be there for 3 years. Justin Fields and so on and so on. So that's what makes college football so great is that these players have enough time to breathe and let their brand to kind of take over.
Yeah, the biggest star in college basketball right now, Cade Cunningham, he's not even eligible for the tournament. You know what I'm saying? He plays at Oklahoma State and everything like that. Going to be a top round pick in the NBA and everything like that. And he's not playing in the most important part of college football, college basketball, which is March Madness, because their team is ineligible to play. So, that is a big problem with college basketball.
All right, 457-9464. Who should be on the cover of the new EA Sports college football video game? 457-9464. We're getting names thrown at us on Facebook. Again, you could search the Justin Kinner Show and leave your responses there. But I'm curious, 457-9464. When that video game comes out, when you're holding it in your hand and you're looking down at it, which player, whose face, whose helmet are you going to be looking at when it is all said and done? Will it be a coach? Who knows what it's going to end up looking like? It could just be. You know what you could do? You could be safe here. You could have the logo for all the Power 5 conferences, but then that'll the American Conference will scream too. I don't know what the safe route is, but it is weird. But this isn't like if had the video game come out a year ago at this time, you could have put Trevor Lawrence's face on it easily.
Yeah,
easily. The year before that, you could have put Tua. Easily. There's not an obvious star for this coming up season.
You can't be in school on the cover. You have to be out of school to be on the cover.
Well then never face this is easy then. Trevor Lawrence's face will go on there. It's going to be Mac Jones or Trevor Lawrence. I forgot that the player, because they get paid when they're outside of college, then they get the money for that.
I still think it should be a collage, and even you got to think this is a business, and as hype as you and I are about it, this is a business, so you want to make sure you put a recognizable face.
I forgot about that not being in the game at the moment. That was my bad. Yeah, I did forget about that. I'll keep going.
I mean, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since this game came out. But you want to put a recognizable face on the cover. So if it is a Trevor Lawrence, it is a Joe Burrow, if it is, Deshaun Watson, because you want to have a guy that, the Madden users know about as well. Because believe it or not, some Madden players don't play college football and vice versa. Even though it's a football game, it doesn't play the same. It's not the same thing. So you want to be a recognizable player out there to get everybody all juiced up to get the new game. And I can't wait.
We're getting this from Doug Toby. He says Bernie Sanders in his lawn chair with his mask and his mittens. Actually, that's the winner right there. I mean, can you the EA Sports College Football 2021, Bernie Sanders sitting there, with his arms crossed with his mittens and the mask. I think, by the way, that screams 2020 college football. So, I have no issue with that.
It's in the game.
Get in the game. This comes from Anthony Bauer. He says, how about various mascots?
Yeah.
That's a safe route to go too. The other reason I didn't think about that they wouldn't put a collage on there. You got to pay each player that you put on there.
Yeah.
They're not going to put 7 players on there and have to pay. God, who knows what the fee is for each player to put on there. That's why more times than not, you just see one. You just have to pay one player. I mean, but you're not going to put more than one. You know what? I could see that. The mascots, the mascots being on the cover or
Brutus.
Whoever that is, So they're that.
Well, shoot, what they do for NBA 2K, they have the Kobe cover, but shoot, this year they had Zion had a cover. Dame had a cover, and they're going to have the ultimate pack with somebody else on the front cover. So it's possible. It's possible, because it's going to sell out. It's going to do crazy numbers, because if my timeline is anything about how people are feeling about this game, they want it, and they want it bad, and I'm one of them.
All right, Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. We'll dive more into that coming up around the corner. We will have ESPN Radio's Jason Fitz hanging out with us here shortly. He'll be calling in at 4:30. Last night, speaking of the NBA quickly, you saw the, what did LeBron call her? The
courtside Karen.
Courtside Karen. And right away, people started ripping LeBron, and I was annoyed with LeBron at first too. I'm like, man, he had someone thrown out of the game. He had someone thrown out of a game because he didn't like that she was heckling him. I'm like, come on, LeBron, that's soft. That's not actually what happened at all. LeBron in the postgame said no, he actually did not want her thrown out. He wanted her to sit down. She kept standing up when they were trying to throw the ball from sideline out of bounds, and not wearing the mask. Like, that's what he was getting annoyed with. He actually said he missed the fan interaction. He goes, that was the fun part of the game. He goes, almost every game there's somebody that he would interact with, kind of like what we've seen from Reggie Miller, and Kobe would do it, MJ would do it. So they would use a fan that they would kind of stare down when they would hit a big bucket. So I'll give him credit. At first I was annoyed, saying, man, LeBron, you look soft in this. This looks, you having a fan thrown out because you didn't like what she had to say, unless it's racial. If you're throwing out like that type of stuff, obviously you should be kicked out. But no, that's not the case at all. He told security to sit her down, is what he had told them, and then they ended up sitting her down out of the arena. But yeah, courtside Karen, or what, sideline Karen, whatever the hell he called her. But I was pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah, it was highly entertaining, and just the funniest line that LeBron said by far to me was, I thought it was a father and daughter didn't know they were married, because I guess her husband's like 55 and she's 25.
Was very sly with that too, by the
way. Crafty. I love it, man. I mean, that's what we want, man. We want fan interaction. Obviously, we want anybody kicked out of the game. We want it to be all in good fun, everything like that. But that's part of the game, man. You go.
So she should not have been thrown out, in your opinion?
No. Don't put on your mask and watch the game. Boo. You got every right as a fan to boo and cheer for your team and everything like that. Like you said, as long as you don't get out of pocket. We've seen plenty of sideline interactions where people get out of pocket with the name calling and just taking it a little step too far. It's outside of the boo and you suck, brick, airball. Stay in those confines and you're good. But she was teetering, but she should have been able to stay in there. She should stay in the game.
Yeah, well, I like watching rich people be put in their place. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, there's something about watching. You can tell just rich, entitled people that aren't used to being told no, be told no. That there's a soft spot in my heart when that actually happens. Like, I can't stand entitled people who just think that, because I have money, I can do whatever the hell I want. Like, I can't stand those people. So, you're jealous. Yeah, maybe, maybe.
Quite possibly.
Quite possibly, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But no, like, I hope that if I ever became rich, that I wouldn't become an a-hole like most rich people. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying. But the bottom line is like, you could, it just. I'm glad they tossed her, but like, I hope that, not every time you say something. Keep in mind, I'm surprised we're not hearing or seeing more of this. I thought we were going to be getting more technicals in basketball. I thought we were going to be getting more technicals from the sideline, whether it's players on the bench or coaches, because these arenas are silent.
Yeah.
And I don't care if the NBA has even 2,000 or 3,000 fans. You got to understand, 2,000 fans in a 20,000 seat venue, it's crickets in there.
Yeah.
Like, those 2,000 people can't make enough noise in there. Half the time you're watching on TV, you don't even hear the fans half the time, because they're not making that much of an impact on the game, in my opinion. So, I'm surprised we haven't had more situations like this, because you say anything, you're being heard. And the fans there, they're still drinking. Mm-hmm. They're still passionate. They're still fired up. They're closer to the court than normal, because they're not sitting you way up in the top and burying you up there. So I'm surprised we haven't had more instances like that where fans are being tossed for things that they're saying. Or, to me, it might be the restraint of the officials. I know players are still yelling stuff from the sidelines, whether it's football or basketball. I know it. Like, I've been to some basketball games where, UD Wright State and others where it's empty. You could hear the coaches plain as day saying what's on their mind. And I think you got to give the officials credit too. I don't compliment officials that often, but I think that they even know in the back of their head they're going to have thicker skin when it comes to this season of playing in front of no fans, because you're literally hearing everything. Yeah. But I wonder what the trigger is with officials. I haven't seen any official go off yet as far as technicals are concerned. I thought TV Teddy, Freddie Valentine, I thought he was going to be the guy that was really going to start teeing people up left and right, because the second that dude, if you look at him wrong, he wants to make it about him.
I know Draymond got a technical rescinded for something he said on the sideline.
No, he yelled at his teammate.
Yeah, he was yelling at his teammate,
Wiseman.
And he thought that the ref thought he was yelling at him. I was like, no, I was talking to him. And just like you said, you can hear everything. And, so many occasions where, you're watching the game on ESPN or whatever, and they say, oh, you got to excuse the language, because they got mics out there. They're picking up everything there. Normally the mics are just picking up murmur or sneaker squeaking. Now you're picking up all the good stuff.
How about when Nickelodeon carried the wild card games? They said it picked up an F word.
Yeah.
And it said for the first time in the history of Nickelodeon, the F-bomb just came across as clear and plain as day. And I thought that was pretty funny.
What do you expect? It's an NFL game.
Real quick, as we close out this segment, before we get into our conversation with ESPN's Jason Fitz, Vincent Waller says that the quarterback at USC will be getting a lot of hype next season as a potential top pick in the draft. Is it Keaton Slovis?
Yeah, Keaton Slovis, yeah.
Slovis. So, that's a star to keep an eye out for next year. Literally, I never thought about this till we started thinking about who to put on this video game, but even though you could have put active players, but I can't, for the last couple of years, it's been plain as day who the face of college football is. It's been Trevor Lawrence. It's been Tua. You're really going to have to dig deep and search, which I think sometimes is refreshing for college football a little bit. It's like a reset button, because a year from now, Uiagalelei is going to be the face of college football. It could be, JT Daniels. It could be somebody else, but it's going to be, I think football needs this every once in a while, some new blood to come in. College basketball, it's exhausting because it's new blood every single year, and that gets old. So Charles Tackett, and this is a good question. He goes, why does it always have to be a quarterback? How about Derrick Henry or Aaron Donald? Look, keep in mind, Charles, Kev said it best. It's a business. Derrick Henry is one of the biggest names in the NFL. Heisman winner, great at Alabama. You put him on the cover. Dude, I think he could sell. Will Aaron Donald sell?
I'm not sure.
You put the quarterbacks on there because fans recognize it right away. You notice it across the aisle. Is that Trevor Lawrence?
As great as Aaron Donald is, you got to think he's a defensive tackle. Now, outside of Ndamukong Suh and Warren Sapp, what other big-time defensive tackles have a personality? Warren Sapp had a personality. So you want those things to sell. And the quarterbacks always sell. They always sell because, it's the most important position on the field. So quarterbacks always sell, unless you're going to go throwback. You want to go throwback with a Heisman Trophy winner that everybody knows of, Eddie George. That'd be nice.
There you go. All right, folks. Justin Kinner, Kevin Nash with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. We appreciate ESPN Radio's Ian Fitzsimmons for hanging out with us in the first hour. Here in hour number 2, coming up on the other side of the break, we'll have a regular visit with ESPN Radio's Jason Fitz from Spain and Fitz. We'll talk about the Super Bowl, the new video game coming out. And we'll talk about college football as well with him. He joins us next. Jason Fitz. Don't go anywhere.
Listen, Stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
This afternoon will be mainly clear and sunny, a high near 30. Tonight's going to be partly cloudy, a low around 16. And tomorrow will be mainly clear and sunny, a high near 32. I'm Pete Spivak for 1410 ESPN Radio.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Frank's Red Hot is the perfect blend of flavor and heat. That's why you can use an entire bottle to make buffalo chicken dip, the kind you might make for when you're watching the game at home. And maybe this year there's less people around to watch the game with. Yay! But that just means there's more dip, and it's all for you. Some of you may say, that's too much dip, but deep down in your heart of hearts, you know it isn't. So go ahead, finish it. Frank's Red Hot don't judge. Frank's Red Hot, I put that on everything.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
Roosters would like to thank all of our loyal guests and all the loyal Buckeye fans for your support this year. Because of you, we've been able to stay open and keep our award-winning team employed. Our team members go above and beyond and are dedicated to providing you and your family the safest dining experience possible while still providing a fun, casual atmosphere to relax, laugh, and enjoy our award-winning food. Roosters, the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Need legal help? We can help. Hi, this is Mike Foley, your Montgomery County Clerk of Courts. Have you heard about our new help center? It's located at the Montgomery County Courthouse, providing legal information and forms. And we also share programs and resources that may be available to you. Let us help you navigate the court system. Visit us online at courthouse2u.com for more info.
Frank's Red Hot is the perfect blend of flavor and heat. That's why you can use an entire bottle to make buffalo chicken dip, the kind you might make for when you're watching the game at home. And maybe this year there's less people around to watch the game with. Yay! But that just means there's more dip, and it's all for you. Some of you may say, that's too much dip, but deep down in your heart of hearts, you know it isn't. So go ahead, finish it. Frank's Red Hot don't judge. Frank's Red Hot, I put that on everything.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on.
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control.
Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
I'm Joel, co-founder of the company behind SuperBeets. I'm excited to share with you our newest product, SuperBeets Heart Chews, which includes clinically researched grapeseed extract, shown to be 2 times as effective at supporting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone.
Get a free 30-day supply of SuperBeets Chews, plus a free 30-day supply of Super Grapes with your first purchase when you shop at getsuperbeets.com/sky. That's getsuperbeets.com/sky.
Any credit card can offer cash back, but only Discover matches all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. It's like getting one of those birthday cards that's shaped like cash, so you already know there's cash inside before opening it. But in this case, it's stuffed with your first year cash back match, and you don't even have to send a thank you note. Cash back match, only by Discover Card. Learn more at discover.com/match. Discover, something brighter.
All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Guys, just keep in mind the Valentine's Day coming up just around the corner, and thanks to our show partners, First Florists and Greenhouses, they have provided us with a little special something, or a little something special for you to give that someone special coming up here this Valentine's Day. Free dozen roses and a vase we will be giving away to one lucky winner to give to their significant other this coming up Valentine's Day. And the only thing you have to do is head to Facebook, search the Justin Kinner Show, and you have to like the show page. And the second you like the show page, your name will be automatically enrolled into the drawing, which we will draw on Friday. We'll announce the winner on the show. We will contact you on the Facebook page that you like the show with. So again, if you want to win a free dozen roses and a vase to give away to your significant other this Valentine's Day, all you have to do is head to Facebook and search the Justin Kinner Show, like the page and follow along. If you already like the page, you're in good standing. You're good to go. But you could also share the live video feed. You could watch the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash weekdays from 3 to 6 on Facebook. And, of course, you could stream it live at wingam.com and listen live on 1410 Wing AM live here in Dayton. So listen, stream, and now watch. Let's bring on our next guest. We have ESPN Radio's Jason Fitz. We had Ian Fitzsimmons earlier in the show, and now Jason Fitz joining us. Now, Jason, welcome in. How are you, sir?
So you had other Fitz on the show. Let's be clear about
it. We're throwing a lot of Fitz today. So they,
and he and I had the great debate when Spain and Fitz was first put together. It was Freddie and Fitz at night after us, and so they realized like 3 days before they were starting the new lineup back then that they needed to change one of them. And I was like, wait a minute. His last name isn't Fitz, it's Fitzsimmons. Like, he keeps yard dogging my last name. Like, my last name is only Fitz. He makes Fitzsimmons into the shortened version. So I constantly remind him that even though he's cooler than I am, he's other Fitz.
So before we get into the Super Bowl this weekend, one thing we talked about with Ian Fitzsimmons was how excited we are about the new EA Sports college football game that's coming out that was announced today. Who should be on the cover? That's what we're trying to figure out right now, is what's the fair way to go about picking who goes on the cover. If you had to pick, if they called you and said, Jason, it's up to you, you get the final call, which player, coach, or team, mascot, whatever, what's your idea for who should be on the cover of the EA Sports college football game when it comes out?
You're going to feel like this is a cop-out answer, but if I'm EA Sports, when I put it out, in every state, like they do with some of the college football preview magazines, I'm putting the best player from that state during that time that there wasn't the game on the cover.
Oh, so, it's like Bud Light in the video. It's like the beer. Like when you go, they'll have Bengals cans here, and you'll find, okay.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I like that.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, so this is the most humble brag statement of all time. But I will say that at some point in life, many of us in broadcasting have to get an agent, right? So I've got an agent, and that's not something I usually utilize. But I saw that announcement. It took me maybe seconds to send the screenshot of the announcement with the text to my agent and said, "Get me on this damn game. I don't care how, somehow, some way. I want my voice in this game. Like, this game coming back is everything." So yeah, I'm like, look, I work in the college football space. Make it happen. So, I may have said it way more gently than that, but I'm already openly campaigning. I'll add it to my tattoo on my right arm if they'll put me on the game. Let's go.
And we found out, obviously, your career started in music, and we found out just how great a voice you have in the Cheez-It commercial that you had come out. But did you know that Cheez-Its was actually created, it started right here in Dayton? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
See,
wow,
that's
I'm working that in next season when we start our Cheez. Like, I'm going to work Dayton into the Cheez-It song next season. That's easy.
Yeah. So, the Cheez-It brand crackers were first introduced in 1921 by the Green and Green Company, then located at the corners of Cincinnati and Concord Streets. Again, that's pretty interesting. I found that really just because of the commercial that you were in. I wanted to pass that along to you. But the Super Bowl coming up this week, obviously, your number one headline that you're looking for is what? Are you more of looking forward to potentially seeing Tom Brady add another Super Bowl to his resume, or is this about the passing of the torch more so to Patrick Mahomes? What's the one thing you're most intrigued by this weekend?
Honestly, I think the most intriguing storyline is how does Andy Reid change his play calling to adjust to whatever their limitations are on the offensive line? Because I think the only way you beat Kansas City is if you put up 40, and I don't think Tampa Bay can do that. So I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. But Tampa Bay did get a lot of pressure on Green Bay, which we didn't anticipate, right? Like, we didn't think that Green Bay would turn the football over. They did. So, there's going to have to be some creativity in how they move Mahomes around. So, but this comes down to, frankly, as I keep saying, you don't beat Kansas City just by being better than Mahomes. You also have to outcoach Andy Reid. And right now, I just don't think that's easy. I don't know how many coaches can do it. And there's a coach, in Andy Reid that had that stigma in Philly that he couldn't win a Super Bowl that is going to be long since forgotten after he gets, I think, 2 in a row. And Guys, that's just the beginning. I mean, this Chiefs team is going to remain mostly intact next year as well. So everybody, like, at some point, I'm just putting my feet up and doing what is so difficult to do as a fan and enjoying the ride.
They're always the team that kept us from getting a steak dinner in Cleveland at the draft. That's how I view them, just so you know.
Oh, that's also fair.
So with Tom Brady in the NFC Championship game, it was a tale of two halves for him. He balled out in the first half and then threw 3 interceptions in the second half, looking very Jameis-esque in the second half. Can Tom Brady do anything in this Super Bowl to hurt his legacy?
Well, I don't think so. And that's actually a great question, by the way. I don't think anything is going to change where people are dug in on Brady one way or the other. So to me, when you get to this many Super Bowls and now you've done it with a different organization, like, my respect for Tom Brady has only grown in this process. I just wish he could admit that it was a fumble and there's no such thing as a tuck. But outside of that, I look at Brady, and you're right. The one thing with the 3 interceptions that I said at the time, and a lot of people didn't appreciate me, hating on him apparently, but those were 3 bad throws. Like, they weren't, this is a miscommunication, or maybe, no, they were just 3 bad throws. So in the first half, we saw the best of what he can offer. In the second half, we saw the worst. And that's a level of inconsistency that won't win the Super Bowl, because this Chiefs team is tougher to stop than Green Bay is. So the Chiefs are going to put up their points. That's why it's Brady's inconsistency that I think is part of the reason they're going to lose the Super Bowl. But I don't think that affects his legacy. I mean, at some point, you have to tip your hat to this many Super Bowls in a career, this many impact abilities. It's just, his greatness is cemented. When he goes into the Hall of Fame, no matter how much people want to hate on him now, we'll tell our grandkids, oh my God, I watched Tom Brady play.
So, yesterday, I guess, was some type of media day with Zoom and everything like that. I know it's only Tuesday, but for me personally, it doesn't feel like Super Bowl week. Do you think that's going to change as we get closer to the kickoff?
No, and I think that's, what you just said is the biggest point of why this game is more predictable than most Super Bowls, because the other nugget here is that Kansas City is not going to travel, it looks like, until Saturday to get to Tampa. Wow. So they're not even in Tampa. So they're sleeping in their own beds. They're using their own facilities. They're doing everything the normal way. So what you really have here is Tampa's playing a home game, Kansas City's playing an away game. So all of the weirdness that usually impacts the beginning of the Super Bowl, from the changes in their warm-up times, and people talk a lot about how it impacts the early portion of the game. Well, yeah, some of that will still be a little weird, but you'll have what has felt like a normal week all the way up to the Super Bowl for everybody involved. So I think there'll be a lot less chaos and a lot less adrenaline early in the game than we're used to seeing. So we get a more predictable outcome because of it.
ESPN Radio's Jason Fitz with us here on the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. Jason, Danny Amendola says that Tom Brady is the Patriot way. He says that that's why he's in the Super Bowl and the Patriots aren't. And look, I that's a very simplistic way of looking at it. I know people like to talk about and debate. I know you do it on your show. We do it on this show from time to time about who won the divorce. Anytime there's a divorce, it's always who's going to get the better looking significant other next, right? Like, that's what always happens. But I look at Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and I'm like, I don't think that they've started from the same starting block. And we're saying, Tom Brady's winning. Well, he's winning a race that they didn't start at the same starting block. I mean, he has a talented roster. Bill Belichick does not have a talented roster. Is too much being given to the side of, Tom Brady's definitely winning this split between him and Bill Belichick?
1,000%. And, we laugh about it on Spain and Fitz sometimes, that what makes Sarah and I, depending on the mindset, good or bad at our jobs, is that we are not afraid to sometimes say maybe. And, this is one of those instances. Like, I love your divorce analogy. The one thing I'd say is that just because, immediately one person is hopped on with a really hot person doesn't mean that that's going to last long term. I mean, they have very different objectives. Brady's objective was to win a Super Bowl right now. At some point, you got to look at the objective for New England, and it's to build a franchise that can have sustained success winning. They took a flyer on a cheap quarterback. It didn't work out. So what? Now what? So how they build their roster from this point is going to be really, to me, the defining portion of this. But if suddenly we see Bill in the Super Bowl again in 3 years and he's on a run that's going to take them to the AFC Championship year in and year out, that's going to be a much better indicator. Like, it is still possible that both of them are going to be just fine, that Brady can get short-term Super Bowls and that Belichick can get long-term rebuilding of a franchise, which is equally difficult to do. So you're right, they start in different starting blocks, but their end point is also much different in how they'll be judged.
Jason Fitz with us here. Kev Nash, Justin Kinner with you hanging out. Again, the Super Bowl coming up, Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. The other big thing out of the NFL that happened this week, of course, was the blockbuster trade. You had Matthew Stafford, again, now with the Rams, and everyone keeps talking about that the Rams gave up way too much and that they don't have a first-round draft pick until a few years from now. But, Jason, one thing Kevin and I talked about yesterday is, to me, when I look at draft picks, the whole purpose of a draft pick is to get a good player that is going to help you win. So why does it matter what they use the first-round draft picks for? If the purpose of a draft pick is to get a player that's going to help you win, then why does it matter if they use that draft pick to draft a player or to use it to trade to get a player? To me, the Rams are confident that they gave up those first-round draft picks to get Matthew Stafford, someone who, in their eyes, can help them beyond any first-round pick that they were going to acquire over the next couple of years. What was your thoughts on that initial trade that was announced over the weekend, and did the Rams give up too much, in your opinion?
No, I don't think the Rams did at all. You're right. And not only that, the Rams got out of a bad contract. I mean, Goff was sort of a throw-in on this contract. It really wasn't about Goff. It was almost an NBA deal. But they got out of a bad deal at the quarterback position that allows them to bring in Stafford. The Lions take on Goff, fine, whatever. And you're 1,000% right. The last first-round draft pick on the Rams roster was 2016, and that was obviously Goff. He's no longer with the team. So they will end up having no first-round picks in 16 all the way up until 24 at this point. And it's not hurting their ability to contend. I mean, they've made the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years. They're constantly in that conversation. They just upgraded the quarterback position, and they did it substantially. So every single draft pick is at some level a crapshoot. Like there's risk in all of them. And I said last year there were 2 guys, Chase Young and Joe Burrow, that I thought were absolute. You risk everything for those 2 guys. This year, there's Trevor Lawrence. Everybody after Trevor Lawrence, there could be an argument for why they may or may not succeed, and nobody really knows what they're doing. So, realistically, I look at the draft as calculated risk every single time. If the Rams are able to do their job in scouting from the 2nd to the 7th round, and their pro scouting department can find value free agents that can come in, then they're going to be able to continue to acquire talent as they've done, and they're going to continue to be competitive. And in the meantime, they got themselves out of a bad deal. I think the Rams are playing chess, and the rest of us are playing checkers. And, if I ran an NFL franchise and you told me I had to give up 4 years of first-round picks to get Deshaun Watson, but I know that I've got my quarterback for the next 12 years, I'm doing that without hesitation. So I have no problem with 2 years for Matt Stafford. 2 years worth of first-round picks? Yeah, I'll do that all day.
You bring up Deshaun Watson. When is that domino going to fall?
Yeah, I don't. Everybody keeps saying that. I see smarter people than me on Twitter that have covered the league for a long time that are saying, you know what, this is not going to happen. It's got to happen before the draft. I mean, worst case scenario to me for the Texans is that they decide that they think they can strong arm Deshaun Watson, and he just doesn't want to play. So if he sits out this year and they don't find another quarterback option, well, what are they just going to throw this season away and then start a rebuild next year? They're already kicking their fans in the face with the way all of this is going. Do they want to add an extra year to it? So I think they've got to get it done before the draft because they need to get equity right now. And I think if they can get themselves much like the Lions did, if they can take on a quarterback of some sort in the process that at least bridges the gap, that's the best solution for the Texans. I mean, but this is a domino falling. And again, people disagree with this, but if Aaron Rodgers sees Deshaun Watson affect his own destiny, you want to tell me he's not going to look around and maybe do the same thing? I mean, there are a lot of quarterbacks that are going to look at it, and this opens the can of worms. I mean, if you're Trevor Lawrence and in 4 years the Jags stink, are you looking at it saying, no? If you're Joe Burrow and the Bengals never get that offensive line right, you looking at it saying, no, guys, I'm good. I'm going to play somewhere else. Like, there are only a few players that can do this. But now if one does it successfully, if you're a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, it's a game changer for the next generation.
You see that everything that went on with Houston and James Harden, him being very vocal about him wanting to leave the Rockets. And then you have Deshaun Watson basically letting his agent and everybody do speculation about why he wants to leave. When do you think we're going to get an actual reason out of Deshaun's mouth about why he wants to leave? Because, it's really all, hearsay, she say stuff right now.
Yeah, I think about 2 weeks after a trade's finalized, there is still this level of quarterbacks are held to a different standard. And it's funny that we can see a Jalen Ramsey force his way out. We don't think anything of it. We can see wide receivers force their way out. We don't think anything of it. But we suddenly think that quarterbacks are supposed to act a certain way, speak a certain way, do things a certain way. And so Deshaun's already pushing the envelope there. I think if he airs all of his dirty laundry now publicly, that's not something he wants to even put in the minds of other teams. So as dumb as that sounds, I think he'll remain silent until the trade is done. And then when the trade is done, we'll see some glorious report from some insider somewhere will finally get the scoop. And it's got to be worse than we know. Like, This can't just be about Jack Easter being a former chaplain that's now become an assistant GM or whatever. Like, it can't just be that. There has to be more to it. So I can't wait for the juicy details.
All right, you can catch Jason Fitz every weeknight right here on 1410 ESPN Radio as one half of Spain and Fitz, 7 to 9 p.m. And he'll be coming at you live coming up here later on following our show at 7 o'clock. Jason, we always look forward to this each week. We'll do it one more time next week to recap the Super Bowl. And, we're looking forward to talking to you again soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great week.
Later. All right, that was ESPN Radio's Jason Fitz. And, man, I mean, like the whole Cheez-It thing. Have you seen the commercial?
Yes.
Yeah, he could sing. I didn't know he could sing.
Pipes.
Yes.
Well, the Golets can sing too, but not like
that.
Not like Fitz though. Golets can sing like for normal people, not for like real entertainers like Fitz.
So here's a good way to end this segment. Ron Howard says, "I heard that Goff got the boot because he was hot for McVay's wife."
Have you seen McVay's wife?
He ain't gonna have a team. But I mean, Vincent Waller on Facebook says, "You act like Belichick only ever had success. Not true. Again, he has a losing record in his career without Tom Brady as his quarterback, and the no talent on the Pats is on him. He has a huge say in the roster." You're right. He does have a say, but keep in mind, the Patriots are going in a rebuilding mode. Like they were trading away first round picks. They had guys opting out left and right. They were not going in the direction of a team that was pursuing a Super Bowl like the Bucs are. So Tom Brady going to a team that's pursuing a Super Bowl and Belichick staying with a team that is rebuilding to win a Super Bowl, it's two different things. That's why, and Vincent, you could end up being right when it's all said and done. I just don't think that it's fair, not even a year after he splits with the Patriots, to say, oh yeah, Tom Brady definitely won this. Sure, Tom Brady's going to be the first to win one, but what if Bill Belichick what if Mac Jones becomes, like, if they draft him and he becomes the next big star in football and they go on to win a Super Bowl or two, then that tone's going to change. That's my whole point is as of right now, you can't declare a winner. I'm not saying Belichick's the winner in this. I'm just saying, but it's definitely not Tom Brady either. You can't judge the divorce until everything's finalized. I don't think anything's finalized yet.
At all. And you got to look at Bill Belichick and what he does defensively, because he's a defensive head coach. The first Super Bowl that they won was against the Rams, the fastest show on turf. They shut them down. The Super Bowl that they mostly recently won was versus the Rams when they were one of the highest scoring offenses in the NFL. They shut them down 3 points. The Super Bowl that they came back and won against the Falcons. Falcons scored 30 points in the first 3 quarters, shut them completely down. So the defensive schemes that Bill Belichick is drawing up and having his players execute, he gets kudos for that. Bill Belichick's a dog. He's one of the best coaches of all time.
They won 7 games this year. Look at that roster. That's not a 7-win.
With tons of opt-outs. Starters, not backups, starters.
That's not a 7-win roster. That's all I'm going to. I mean, again, it means nothing. You didn't make the playoffs. It's an expanded year. You still didn't make. All I'm saying is they had every right to be down in the basement with the Bengals and the Jags and all those teams, and there they were.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of that who won the divorce thing. They both played a major part in that team accomplishment. You can like both guys. Both guys deserve a lot of credit for that. I mean, to really think that this whole thing was Tom Brady. Tom Brady ain't out here calling defenses. Tom Brady ain't out here making all those kicks that Vinatieri was to win games. It's a team sport. Yes, he's the lead guy. Yes, he's the GOAT. No doubt about it. But you got to give the other teammates and the head coach a lot of credit. They shut the Rams down to 3 points. 3 points in the Super Bowl. McVay.
That offense is what led to Zach Taylor getting a job with the Bengals. It's what led to pretty much anyone and that's why we joke, anyone that ever made eye contact with McVay got a job in the NFL that year because of how great that offense was, and Bill Belichick shut it down. Sure, Tom Brady and the offense didn't look great.
They scored 13 points.
But again,
they scored 3 points going into the fourth quarter.
Unreal. All right, when we come back to close out hour number 2, the Dayton Flyers and George Mason matchup will be what replaces the Richmond game coming up on Friday. So that's news, but we'll talk a little Cincinnati Reds on the other side. The Reds made a move. They added a familiar name to the roster, but it's not the position that Reds fans have been wanting and clamoring for. We'll discuss next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Hello, good neighbor. Pat Boone here. You know, for years I've been warning Americans about the secret war on cash by big government, targeting your money and your privacy. Now, recent reports confirm that some banks are refusing to cash checks, and cash is being confiscated from innocent citizens. I'm serious. It's truly shocking. The folks at Swiss America have detailed all the dirty little government secrets in their free report, The Secret War on Cash, and it's available now by calling 800-289-2646. Why don't you write that down? 800-289-2646, because time's running out to take action. Don't become the next victim in this battle. Get The Secret War on Cash. Call 800-289-2646, and be sure to tell them Pat Boone gave you this number, 800-289-2646.
New to the Wendy's 2 for $5 lineup is their classic chicken sandwich. Go grab a 2 for $5 deal and pick 2 faves like a Dave Single Nugs, and now the classic chicken sandwich, 2 for $5. Price and participation may vary, limited time.
Fever is a leading symptom of the coronavirus, so take your temperature twice a day with the Exergen Temporal Scanner. It's quick and easy to use, and its accuracy is backed by more than 80 clinical studies. Have your family start and end their day with the only home thermometer used and recommended by hospitals, doctors, and nurses. Your family can take their temperatures in seconds to know where they stand in the fight against COVID-19. Protect your family from the spread of this deadly disease and stay safe with Exergen.
Leave your sister alone. You're ready to get back into yoga, so you order the essentials: a non-slip mat, yoga blocks to keep balance, and an exercise ball. And you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential yoga gear. Noise-canceling headphones.
Welcome. Take a deep breath. Breathe.
Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2020 Bank of America Corporation.
Chrissy is refinancing her home, so she shopped around for the lowest rate and found it at Amerisave.com, setting her up for a lifetime of savings. It's one decision she'll never regret, unlike wearing tap shoes to a surprise party.
Sorry, guys. Just trying to find the perfect hiding place.
Pretty regrettable, Chrissy. Unlike finding that low mortgage rate at Amerisave.com that's got you on your way to a lifetime of savings. Amerisave's rates won't be this low forever, so go to Amerisave.com now. Lower mortgage rates mean higher savings. Call 866-514-SAVE or visit Amerisave.com/licensing for cost information, terms, and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all states except New York. NMLS number 1168.
Come into Skyline today and kick it up a notch with andouille sausage conies made locally by Queen City Sausage at participating Skyline locations for a limited time. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
Guys, you know that new Untuck It shirt you've been eyeing? Well, now's your chance to save big on all your favorites with the sale happening right now at untuckit.com and at Untuckit's 80-plus stores for a limited time only. Untuck It shirts are designed to be worn untucked. They're the easy-to-wear styles that every guy loves and the perfect way to feel comfortable and look sharp. Don't miss your chance to save big on these top styles for the season with the sale happening right now at untuckit.com. Untuck It, shirts designed to be worn untucked.
Hindsight is 2020. 2020 was a brutal year with a lot we couldn't control. Pandemic, economy, unemployment. What can we control? Our job, our career. Don't look back with 2020 hindsight next year and see yourself in that 2020 job. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. Live online classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring Class A CDL drivers for home daily dedicated lanes. A $2,000 sign-on bonus, medical, dental, and company-paid life insurance. Call Cody or apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
I'm Terry Krupp of Laird's Tax and Accounting, serving this area's tax and accounting needs for over 80 years. If you have concerns about your tax return, we invite you to discover how we can make your tax filing experience easier. If you had a difficult experience in the past, our professional staff can provide the accurate return you want with maximum use of all legitimate deductions. Laird's Tax and Accounting is a trusted name and stands behind your return if the IRS calls. Contact us at 937-325-6571. Information at lairdstax.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
Remember, customize and save with Liberty Mutual Insurance Company. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. College football playoffs. Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes,